G'day everyone, welcome along to Steelhorse Station. It is Monday the 8th of May. It's just gone 7:30 in the morning here in Melbourne. Morning, 7:30 in the morning, 7:30 in the evening. Gosh, I'm a whole day behind. So for those of you that are in my part of the world, it is Monday evening, but for everyone else, it's sometime earlier on Monday, pretty much. Either sort of mid-morning or really early in the morning, depending on whether you're in UK, Europe or North America. And today we are heading across to the Oaks, where we will jump right in. G'day, John. Welcome. I think someone else might be hiding there in the background with you. But we'll catch up with that in due course, no doubt. Oh, it's Klaus. Welcome in, sir. Great to have you here. So, we're just finishing the November day, and what is that doing there? Why is that still? How bizarre. Thrown out, but it's still empty. I hope you are well, Klaus and John. Now, I chose to stay here. So there's a couple of things going on. We have $500,000 in the bank, which is good because we were doing a bunch of contracts, some of which I finished, and one that you'll see there on field one that I've grabbed is a sowing contract that I just felt we couldn't pass up. Where are we? Let's have a look at contracts. So, g'day, Jason. Great to have you in. So that's a big field one, and it's a big contract, but it was there, and I thought we needed to grab it because over the next couple of months we won't have much happening. And part of my rationale, for those that didn't catch the end of the last stream, was that this came up in the shop on the sale for half price, and because we had some money there I couldn't go past it. But what it meant was we didn't buy any land. We ended up with a big piece of equipment which I then used to whip through this field and get the grass cut. And so that means, in terms of where we're at and with work on our own property, we've got one more field to cut, which is just over here. As you can see, I've still got a lime contract going on field 32, and interestingly, he's just come back here and filled up. But I think if I get to him in time, we're running in the wrong direction. He's going to run away from me. No, stop. I'm pretty sure I've set him to go back to field 32. There we go. Yes, so he's going back to 32 north. So where are we? It was right at the end of the other stream, Jason. Cranky talked me into it. I'll blame him. So 32 north is where he's going back to, which is up here. So we'll let him drive there. The other thing that I did while we're sort of jumping around all over the place is I saw that was the other thing that was occurring at the end of the last stream. So there was a really good price for canola, and so we had quite a lot of it, about 150,000 litres or a little bit more. So we sold all the canola and it was in the process of selling that canola that I realised that the Krone was on sale in the store, so we went ahead and picked that up. I also took the opportunity to put one of those lime stations in here because I figured, and it was my intention to catch that vehicle before it went back, but we might as, it's worked really well out of our yard in the south, and so to have one for these fields up here rather than having vehicles running across the map seemed to make a lot of sense. So that's pretty much the update. So the consequence of taking that sowing contract is, because it's wheat, it needs to be finished this month. So we will just keep going until we finish seeding the wheat, and we'll jump across there now and have a bit of a look. So where are you in relation to field 1? Getting very close. Because there's the top up of seed. Our main seeder is out, and so I was just delivering a little bit more over there. I won't speed up the time just at the minute because I'll try and stave off getting dark. But when we've finished this contract, we will go ahead and it's just coming up here on the right hand side, I think, where we're seeding. We will go ahead and roll forward. So that pretty much brings everybody up to speed. I don't know if it's still there. The other thing that I saw in the... Yeah, there he is right there. That's not a bad spot. Where's the break in the hedge here? Crash counter +1. I think he actually just missed. He wasn't going fast enough to crash. Now, why can't... Did I miss an entrance to that field back there? Or is it round the corner here? Must be around the corner. Okay, let's take over and drive this ourselves. So, where is the entrance? We're just a little bit underpowered for this tender full of seed, but it's working quite nicely. But I was a bit short on tractors in the right spot. While we're there, let's put the auger out. The way I decided to do it is, so I've got this feeder running on the headland because he doesn't get very far. Can I get you just out of there? And I come on, you got to be pretty close. You being difficult. Up out seeds, yeah. Up out seeds, right. Come on. You were working fine. The only thing that's changed is I accidentally put half a bag of fertilizer in there because it was mixed in with the seed bags. There we go. I had the wrong one selected. That would do it every time. So you are now ready to keep going. We can take you the field to where the other one is parked. There he goes. He's on the right line now. Yeah, I did. I wasn't, for some reason it was probably because I got a few things going on. There was a little bit of lag while it figured out how to process it. Now we want to turn around, I've discovered, and come in across the back. Works the best. Because the big difference now, and welcome Jason, the other Jason. The big difference now to when I was doing it the other day and started up is, of course, I'm streaming. So the PC's doing quite a lot of stuff all at once. But that said, we are going to need some more seed. So let's, not pretty sure you're not going to be able to get through there. So we might go to the store, buy another 8 bags. While we've got the money, let's buy another 8. Yes. And we can go up to the store and get it delivered. Where we want a truck, don't we? Is the truck back? The truck is back. We might send you down to field 1, I think. See you, John. Hope your appointment goes well. Now, let's see here. We know that these will all fit on quite nicely. As long as I do a modest job of stacking them in a straight line. For all you folks based in the UK, hope you have had an enjoyable coronation weekend. I watched a little bit of it. Really need auto load on that truck. Yeah, I probably should. I turned it off. I'm fairly sure if I put because I disabled universal auto load. I'm pretty sure if I turn it back on, I'll get auto load back on this truck, but I turned it off because it was giving me a couple of little problems, just really odd, quirky little mod conflicts. And now since then there's been at least one, if not two, updates to universal auto load, so it's quite possible they've been fixed, and I just haven't revisited it. Where do I want to send you? I want to send you to field 1, don't I? 1 west, 1, let's go to 1 south, that'll be close enough. Okay. I also, while I was at it, brought some feed down. So that's actually the last of our wheat that was in the silo. So these chooks down here now have some, and I did sell a pallet of eggs. We need some hay at some point for our cow down here. It's not the priority at the minute. Where are we here? Let's just... What do we need to do first? Let's just run around and cut the grass, because we can always pick it up once we move into December. And if we go forward, can you actually tow that off there? Reuse 3-point only. Can't remember what hitch you've got on there. You've got a 3-point hitch on, of course you have. Da, 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 da. And all the tractors are off doing other things. Rightio. So, and didn't get locked up. Still would have tried it. Oh, I thought I got close enough and it didn't connect. So, never mind now. Get you off there now. Where are we going to put you? Back in the shed would actually be clever, wouldn't it? It would get you out of the way. Darkness is falling quickly. Which is interesting. I was hoping I'd have a little bit more daylight before it got dark. Okay, you're good there. So the big decisions now are, as we progress through the winter, what fields do we buy? And I say fields in plural because I'm sort of thinking 2 fields is a good idea. We'll see. Okay, what are you doing? Why are you not putting anything down? That's better. There you go. Let's tootle around here. This will take but a minute, and one of the other good features of this is the lighting is not too bad, so you can actually see what's going on. But I cut the other two fields that we've got next door, and I actually rolled fields 61 and 62, so they're a bit of an experiment to see if rolling them actually advances the growth stage sufficiently that we'll be able to cut before we put the sugar beet in April. We'll just have to wait and see what happens with that risk. Certainly doesn't show that rolling them makes a difference, but when you walk on them, it shows that they're in a growth stage rather than not. So kind of interested to see what happens when we roll forward a day. Oh, the trucks. Some of the truck lighting is atrocious. It reminds me of learning to drive back in the days before halogen. Yeah, that's what I noticed, Jason. And that's significant at this time of the year because it gives you a chance to plant your grass as a cover crop, take a cut off it, and then potentially get a second cut before you seed in it. Well, I'm even going pre-sealed beam headlight, right? So I'm thinking globe. My first car had 12-volt globes in it, incandescent globes, which were entertaining. What they basically meant was other people could see you, but you didn't see much of anything else. That's also true. Yeah, I'm not savvy with the different numbers. I just remember graduating, because somewhere along the line, so I built myself a shed, kind of a lean-to arrangement at the end of the garage at home, and of course it had no power because I wasn't allowed to mess with the electricity. So in order to get lights, I had a 12-volt transformer that I used to run my AFX track, and so I could run an extension cable from the garage through the roof space into my shed, and then I could use the 12-volt transformer to power a couple of car headlight units that I'd picked up on a junk heap or something, that just took a regular small bayonet 12 bolt globe in them. Yes. Yes, I agree. Both Jasons. B, up, B, and that would appear to be all of the mowing. It's done for the minute. We'll pop you on there. Now, the thing we want to do just to help out our... Oh, we don't have a tractor. What do I want to do? I want to take you out of there. Pop you on that side. Get you in around there. There we go. A bit of slalom. You'll fit in there. Now, don't get stuck in the building. Take you off there again. And just to save me having to go and grab a couple of bales from the cow farm, we'll just run the tedder down the side here to make a couple of bales. Oop, that made a bit of a mess of that, but never mind. If I can get 2 bales, this will do Mabel and Bessie back at the main farmhouse. At least that's the plan. We're at 70% on the seeding activity. Let's go. Jump over there in a tick. There. Let's see how many bales this generated. The other interesting, so I don't know if it's still there. Pretty sure. Yeah, so there's a JCB, but not the icon. Oh, and a Landini. But apart from that, they're the only interesting things in the shop, and we'd be really collecting lots of different brands if we took on either of those. It'd be real, you know, Orphan Annie and the Tractor Farm. Right, let's just see how much of this we pick up. Get one at least, maybe we'll get 2. Good morning, Farm Sim Brisco, welcome. Great to have you in. There's a couple of folks. John was here before and has had to go. Let's try dropping that on. I'm just trying to finish a big seeding contract that's running on field 1 at the minute before we roll into the next day. You'll see we're nice and financial. Yeah, my first car was a hand-me-down, which was a wonderful 67 HR. Which, for the international watchers, will mean nothing to you. It was a Holden. But it was a terrific first car back in the days when cars were actually made out of steel and you bumped into anything, whatever you bumped into had the problem rather than your car, as a general rule. Okay, so we got 2 bales off here, which will do perfectly for Bessie. Run those down a bit later on. Come on. And then the first car I bought with my own money was when I started work, and it had what I'd call semi-sealed headlights, but hopefully I didn't ever need to replace any of those. So I had like a headlight assembly that was more than the round one, and it took one of those complicated pre-halogen incandescent bulbs, which I did have to replace a couple of those, and was horrified at the price of them at the time. But how things have changed. Righty-ho, so that's it, with just a couple of quick bales tossed out of there. Let's go and check on how this seeding is running. Oh, and get that we might as well get that liming finished too. Should finish faster than the where are we? Field 32, there should be. So he's halfway through his tank already. That's the one I want. So you're going on to field 32. Where we are going to do that and that. 42, one headland. Finding the liming's working really well. It's a nice. Now, I haven't defined a course, so we'll send you to fill up at funding care fund. Did I put one in? Liquid fert silo. Solid fert silo. Did I thought I put a lime point in. I did. There it is. And turn that on. And with any luck, this should only need a couple of fills to finish this field. And then that job will be done. If we jump across back to field 1 now. Oh, Let's do a save. That's where what's our 5465 doing? Well, you can let me zoom into the vehicle. There we go. You're not doing anything useful now. So I'll turn you off. See if we can find. Yeah, thank you. I was on the courseplay tab. Now let's see here. Can we get you to do anything productive at this end of the field? And specifically in this part of the field. Like about, which way are you going? You're going that way. Somewhere there, maybe. That'll do. That'll keep you busy for a moment. Now let's go find the tender. Let's see if we can get you. Where is the truck going to be coming to? The truck has come to there, straight ahead of us. Over there, in fact. Would have been nice if he left his lights on. I can just see him doing that. And there are the very, oh, I've got work lights on the trailer of sort. Now let's put you in and see if we can get you close enough. There we go. Go over and fill up the 5465, the 3465. That'll do. Which will be back over there somewhere. %. It shouldn't take too long. Yes, I've had that problem with a few of them. Oh, I see. So you're running actually across the... Your pattern is not on the bit that I wanted, which is annoying. So let's stop you. I did not interpret that very correctly. And we will there's not really much point, is there? Come on. Well, that's what I was trying to do, but I've obviously got, because I've got them set on different, I had to set them on different courses, and with this, it's set it up at 90 degrees, so I will need to figure out course play. Now let's just wipe out seeds, right? There we go. Don't know why you set back again. So let's take you up a bit because we're going to need you in a minute for the other guy. Let's go over here. The trouble is the other seeder is 6 meters, and so putting him on the same course will have him leave 3 meter gaps. However, that's there. Which way is he running? He's running to... Yeah, that's exactly what I was just thinking. What bearing is that other guy running is the question. So you are running 58-ish. Okay. So if we come in here, no course. I'm going to say update direction. $60 is going to be the closest we get. This might take a little while given the shape of this field. There we go. But that's better. And so now if I go pick, if you can see it, no, I can't get you off that. If I pick this side of the field, let's put you on and move you over here somewhere. And say that one right there. Which way? Oh, you're running back the other way, are you? You are too. Okay. In that case, start you at this side. Like about there. Let's see what happens. Meanwhile, you're not going to the fill point that I thought I'd set you to. I'll leave you go anyway, because it's not important. Now, where's the other guy? He'll be full in a minute and need, full, he'll be empty in a minute and need a top up. But with the scale of thing, I've been thinking we're probably approaching the time where we need to think about 2-day month, and so that each week of streams becomes a month. Let's box this guy in if we can. That's better. Get you out of the way. Can take you back over and fill you up. Yes. Oop, left a spot. Never mind. Yeah, I'm really liking that trailer fill icon. That's useful in a number of ways. Let's go back to the truck. And then we can start thinking about, because that won't take, how long is it's gonna, it's saying it needs, where are we? 2 hours 39, but in that 2 hours 39 is the headland, so it doesn't, so don't know, haven't tried to fill a multi-compartment trailer. I'm just trying to recall when I used it with the 754 and the Marsden, so the dumper and the attached trailer, I can't recall. I think it showed me a total. Let's go that side. So if we go and look at the map for a second, the question I have for you all is, what fields do we invest in? So we own the cow farm up here, but we currently have no fields around it. And then we own 3 fields out of the old, what I'm deeming to be the Putney estate. And so the question, I'm kind of considering that in the original Putney estate, the boundary ran up to, but not including field 75, this woodlands on the left and this parcel here. So that's what I'm considering to be the original Putney estate. And therefore that's the land ultimately that we want to own at this end. Now, we take that into account. We go to I'll get to the soil map in just a sec. I'll just do this while we're here. You'll see bits of it here. So 70 is worth 1.1 million. 69 is 272. So that's let's call it 1.4. 2.6. 4.1. Ultimately, we need 4.5 million to buy back the bits of the Putney estate that we don't own. I'm not feeling like we've got to do that all in one go. But getting a sample of those, comparing it to, we could always buy a couple of fields up here. And one thing I know for certain, you can see bits of it here, is the soil quality up around the cow farm is much higher. So all the fields up there have a reasonable handle of loam in them. Down here, 64's up a little. So not too bad for 64 and 59. 63 is pretty crap. 69's not bad at all. And 70's sort of subpar. But interestingly, 76 is not good. So the fields we're working here aren't particularly good either. 68 is. So, and if you want the rest of the soil map, it looks like so. So it's looking like there's a loam stripe through here. We've probably got silty clay at the top, and this sandy loam is probably the bulk of field 70. Bit of a mix in 64. That silty clay stripe probably sort of heads up through here somewhere. And comparing to large tracts of loam at the top of the map. So I'm kind of leaning to sitting on the fence and saying, well, actually it'd be kind of handy if we could buy, say, 69 down here, but potentially 28 because it runs right alongside our yard up here. That's kind of how I'm leaning, and the cost implications of that decision would be $272 and $621. So 270, 800, 900 grand. You might say, well, you're bonkers. What are you do? Where are you going to come up with 900 grand? Well, when we finish this contract, we'll have 600 and the best part of another bunker full of silage. So not horribly placed, even without borrowing any more money. And as soon as we get started in the new year, you'd have to expect there'll be a few planting contracts. We've got the 2 big horse planters and we've got the tractors to run them now. So we would expect to be able to put a couple of $100,000 back in the kit pretty quickly once planting season opens. At least that's my rationale. In terms of other things to sell, we've also got some straw, not a huge amount. And what else have we got here? We've got some eggs that are starting to come online steadily. So in terms of managing our month-to-month costs, our commodity stuff is starting to pick up slowly. So that's my musings. What do people think? While I jump out here in the fields, and I really do want these contracts finished so we can go back to daylight. Where's the next? let's have a look at that idea, Jason, and see what we think. So because they yield better, that's gives some good potential. We've got to stay north of the road because that's where all the good yielding land is. However, it's also, have we got anything? I guess we could buy 31 and 32 if we wanted to take that sort of an idea, although 31's still, you see, 31's 500 grand. You kind of end up in this parcel over here, and they're not, it's really interesting, the prices, yeah. So interestingly, the land isn't as good. $31's cheaper than 28. That's probably just down to size. Is it 8 versus 9? Yeah, so there's a hectare difference in the size. 30s. The land appears to scale pretty well. Oh, the prices appear to scale pretty well according to the soil quality. I certainly don't think we can reasonably afford 70, 64 or 59 for another year or more. So I think down at the Putney farm, the only real option is 69, and it 10,000 a hectare cheaper than around the old farm. That's true. They are. I haven't got dynamic field pricing on, so the land's not going to change in price. I do have the auction mod, but I'm pretty sure there isn't an auction. No, I knew you were going to go there. I'm pretty sure the auction that was running was on this field, one of these fields over here. This 53, I think it was. It's either 52 or 53. And it ended up going, it was 30 to 40% discounted, but it was still at that time out of our price range by the time it auctioned off. So it went from sort of 330,000 up to over 500,000 in the final day of the auction. Okay, we'll ponder. How's that line going? If I interrupt you, actually, oops, and take you back myself. Down here to our farm, whoops, and avoid the crash. I can fill you up much faster. In fact, I think I can get in. Can I get in from this side of the farm? Yeah, because I can see this. Whoop, there's a crop in that field. We won't be doing that. That's probably why Virtual Farmer put a road across there. Never mind. Let us. That's into a house. Around. Okay. Tito's just greeting my son, letting everybody know that he's home. Thank you, Tito. Right, so let's go around and fill this lime up. And fill it up. There we go. And now you can go back. 64%, you'll go pretty close to finishing, I reckon. You're going about half. There's still a lot of seeding to go here, isn't there? Probably, well, I miscalculated in taking this contract on. I probably should have done more of it over the weekend. I did contemplate, I was crossing my fingers, I was hoping something like a big cedar would come up, because we've got, I even thought about buying this guy to go with our horse planters. I thought, I wonder if there's an equivalent cedar, and in fact there is, which I haven't used, somewhere along here. This guy, I thought he'd be a pretty interesting pickup, but I thought spending 100,000 to do a contract for just less than 100,000 was probably a bit back to front. With the auction mod, can you also just buy land, or only doing the auction? So I'm not super experienced with it, but the way I understand it is it's random how many auctions a year you get, but it's set to guarantee at least one, and you can't buy the block of land that's available once the auction process starts for the land being auctioned. You've got to wait for the auction to complete. So if you're unlucky enough that an auction comes up on the block of land that you want, you've got to wait until that's done. But all other land you can buy. So it only auctions one field at a time. So that was part of why I added it. So on a big map like this, it's not too much danger of it getting in your way, and because one's just finished, a new auction hasn't launched yet, so we don't have any way of knowing which field it's going to pick next. Hopefully that clarified a little. You're going to need some more seed. Where is the seed man? There he is. Back you go. It's been a bit underpowered and laggy. And we know you're working somewhere over there. I haven't used some of the more way out functions in better contracts, and he's added a heap in, so it's getting quite sophisticated now. I took part in an Argsy multiplayer stream last week, and we ended up on the valley, the old farm, where it's installed, and the setting which gives you a discount for buying land where you've done multiple contracts, which is an interesting idea. I've been pondering whether there's kind of a role play style story in something along those sort of lines. I haven't quite landed on anything yet, and I've already got my next series under development. The next series will in all likelihood be on the valley, the old farm, but it'll be a bit different. Same sort of style. We have a central character with a bit of a backstory that will follow along. This guy has got to be getting close to finished. Come on. I did mess around with dynamic field pricing for a few months, but I stopped using it around about the middle of the last year, when it was quite clear it was messed up. Ah, okay. Very interesting. Yeah, we only did one, so I wasn't paying that close attention to it. Where are you up to? Oh, if I can't get used to looking at my little tool to tell me, and I would have known exactly that there was 20% left in there, and I don't need to worry. So it's in orange down on the bottom left of the screen that there is only 20% wheat left. The fact that this guy thinks he's got 10 hours to go is a bit of a worry, but he doesn't, of course. We're fairly steadily slicing into the difference. Actually, he's going to get just about back to here, I reckon. 18%. The man with lime has run out again. So let's go fix the lime man, because that was much faster. Where are you heading to? Let's just pause you for a sec and run back down to the farm. With any luck, this will be your last one. I don't believe I have the ability to refill that one on the move. We can try it when I get back. I know I can't do the gill air sim. I can't get it in the right place to trigger. That we can have a shot at that. I'm pretty sure the trigger response time's not sensitive enough on the little narrow one, the aggro, whatever it is. Ah, cool, Farm Sim. You're enjoying your coronation day off, are you? I'm just trying to remember, because I didn't have a mini map. I'm trying to figure out, so what's the north orientation of the map? So the building where the vehicle spawn point was for the moment, is that which corner is that? That's good timing, 4%. Now, to do the trick shot fill, we need to go from this side. Pretty sure it's not going to work. What do we got there? Come on. Doesn't help that I don't have any material acceleration. I can get the trigger up. Let's get him to turn around. Well, I think the oaks look stunning, so it's kind of... Oh, I managed to get some in it. Did I? No. Oh, oh, oh. Now we're going uphill. That makes it even harder. No. I haven't got enough throttle control. It's basically a horse, because I only got 58 horses and we're going uphill. It helps me out with the top speed, but I can't get the I can't get it to hold the cruise. Never mind, we'll get him on the next one. I certainly I felt like I was getting a good sense of how it was going to take shape. It'll be a pretty map, that's for sure. So for those that didn't know, Farm Sim Brisco sent me a very early cut of Saxthorpe just to have a quick look at, which I did. I can safely say there's many hours of enjoyment for Farm Sim Brisco bringing his new vision to life. Although it probably feels like it's progressing much faster because A, you know more than you did last time, and B, it's a regular size map. Right, 90%. Come on. Get in there. Oh, come on. There you go. Now, where's the other one? The other one is at wheat. 30%. So you got a little ways to go. So we'll pull off out of your way for the minute. Yes, that you've got a way to go and inspire yourself, rev yourself up for the next shot at the map. Now, how's that liming going? The lime is being spread. Let's have a look here. Oop, we're liming. We're almost finished liming, in fact. So that'll be that contract done. We're at 90% on the other one, going as fast as we can. This one will be finished momentarily. Come on, pop. Bingo, bango, bongo. So I have to say I do like this combination. Oops. So this spreader and the 3707 has worked really well. It's paid for itself now several times over, like with lime contracts. It definitely is a good, let's turn you off, a good proposition. So we want you to drive to the correct spot, which you magically remember as being Putney Cows Equipment Park 1. Then we can jump in, do a save. Well, it wasn't intended as a single roll. It just turned out that over the last couple of streams, through this period, post-harvest period, we've had a few liming contracts come up, and that was the combination that I ended up with, and it's just worked really well. It was more an experiment to see if it would pull the full lime trailer, and it did, and it's worked really well. I'll tell you what, potatoes can come next month, but the corn in field 41, I reckon he might be in trouble. He's when's corn got to be out? Oh no, potatoes have got to be out as well. So 2 farmers with withered crops, I reckon. As the sun is definitely fading. Yep. I know what you mean. I mean, that's the thing. Having got the combination working, it's very much, it gets to the point where you say, well, I wouldn't want to miss out on taking one of those contracts because I was busy using this tractor for something else. So I guess that's how you end up with role-based tractors. But right now, 92%, and they can see each other, so that's a good start. We're down to 20% in the other one. I have been trying to do all the maintenance on vehicles as they come up. So I washed the harvesters and put them in the shed, and so they're all fully maintained and ready for next season. Is he going to get all the way up and back? That's a good question. 17%, he might. We'll just wait for him. As this last tank will be the one we need. What I could do, let's go up and fill him up. And then I could do a quick load in the yard with that. Actually, we'll do a couple of things. Ooh, that's a challenge. Did you tweak the weather settings on here at all, or is it just the standard base game stuff, Farm Sim Brisco? What we're going to do here is pause you there, fill you up, and then we'll run over and pick up a tank of grass for the bunker. Because this tank here will go pretty darn close to finishing. Come on, back up, back up. The other one's at 12%. He's going to run out short. Oh, that's fertilizer. Where are we? This is where we want to be, and we want to go and find what do I do? It's in the shed. Hopefully what we can do here, because I hadn't got round to putting it. Let's pick some lights for this yard. So what do we want here? Decoration lights. Oh, they look a little on the tall side. They're not quite tall enough. It doesn't look inappropriate, but it's not setting the world on fire in terms of lighting, is it? What have we got here? These look better. Scale looks a lot better, as does the lighting. What have we got here? I'm happy with automatic. The guy in the house next door probably wouldn't be too happy with that one sitting there. Is there a 2 version of it? That's got a switch. Is there an automatic with just... So what I want... Well, I suppose I could just use that one and just have to... No, that's not the one I want. That one. And it's got a switch on it. I reckon we put you there. Now over here we could probably use one of those 360s. If we put that guy pretty much on the corner of the bunker or between the bunkers. On the corner of the bunker makes more sense. And then over here, corner of the field, floods into each bunker. We could do that. Another one of those 180 ones here. What's that guy? 360 manual. That's that guy. Floods into the bunker would look something like their mounted lights. I'm just thinking those 2 on the left, you could put one like this. They look pretty good. Don't know if they're effective, but they kind of look like they're supposed to be there. But yes, they're the mounted lights, so you can attach them onto the side of things. So for instance, if we can get close enough, we could, not that we need it, you can put it on the side here, I guess. Which way are you facing? You're facing that way. Something like so. Well, that's lit up the yard a bit. Especially if I now turn these on. Don't know what the power bills will be like. But we can play a little bit of yard cricket. Now we need the tractor. So that just it certainly makes the yard a bit more workable. You're not so dependent on the vehicle lights. I don't mind those lights at the end of the bunker either. They're probably not doing an enormous amount, but they kind of look like spots that you'd potentially put lighting. Let's see here. But remember, I've left a... We're up to 97%, so we're just about ready to be able to roll forward. I won't bother about... Gee, it gets dark as you get out of the range of those lights, doesn't it? We'll get a load of this collected up, and then we can roll forward into the next day. Round we go. That's where I left the tedder. I've got that experiment running, so I've cut and rolled 61 and 62. And I've cut but not collected on 76, and we're cut and collecting but not rolling on Church Meadow. So I've sort of got the 4 scenarios which enable us to see exactly what happens when we roll to the next one, but we probably won't get to the conclusion of the experiment until we get into February and March. That's when we'll... or it'll be March when we'll see they're actually in materially different states. And we must take Mabel and Bessie a bale too. Come on, pick a line, pick a line. Getting a bit of wheel slip there. Yes. Yeah, well, just before we roll, I'll show you what we do see for all of those. And then when we roll forward, we'll be able to directly contrast it. So we'll do that as soon as I finish picking this lot up. We're up to 98% on field 1, so the little seeder's about to run out. So yep, the 99%. So I'd reckon the next row or two will finish it from the Gillespie. Just about done here. Quite a full, not quite a full trailer. Which way did I drop it off? I dropped it off. I've got a couple of little bits down here. Oh, I've got a weight on the front there, haven't I? Never mind. Back down. Let's do it. Loop the long way. Oh, the contract's finished over there. So let's just do that last row there. We'll pretty much fill it up, I think. Where am I? Oh, I missed it. Did not judge it well in the dark. I'm going to need that bit that I left at the end of the field there, aren't I? Alright. $97. Come on, pick it up. Back it up. Well, there's enough there. Really? 300 litres? That's what you got. Right. So this, well, let's go and finish that contract while we're at it. Sowing contract, 93,000. Thanks for coming. So this shows as harvested needs rolling. And if we go through the hedge and across the track, this shows as harvested needs rolling. Oh, I just thought I'd rolled this one. I did roll this one. That's really interesting. Or did I not? I'm sure I did. No, I definitely, yeah, and so growth is showing as growing on here, right? Maybe I didn't roll this one. Where have I left the roll? Oh. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Maybe I left the roller here so that I was ready to roll it and I just picked it up. What happens when you're doing 47 things at once? Is there a roll? Yes, there's a roller up here. It's ready to roll. So if we run the roller over it, just quickly, we'll get to the point that I was looking for. Get you off there. There we go. You're not picking that up. That's better. Now the PDA that you wanted to look at for growth is interesting because we're going to turn on grass fields, don't we? And then we come to the PDA and we see growing. It shows us this one, but not this one. So now if I unfold, which will be a little bit annoying to do in the dark. Now, before you ask too many Aussies that question, you need to define, are you just talking about farm tracks in general? Are you making an actual off-road course on the map? Like an extreme terrain area? I like the fact that the occasional road has a pothole. Yeah, okay. So on the Oaks, some of the, for people that haven't noticed, some of the farm tracks are actually quite bumpy. Now, I find that realistic. And it's if it bugs you, it's easy enough to get the leveling tool and flatten them out if you want. But I know some people find it annoying. Typically, they're the people that like to run around the map at 70 miles an hour in vehicles and wonder why they tear off all over the place. I also really like Farm Sim Brisco, the areas where you've got like puddles and you know, it's clear that a little stream or field has a water flow across the track. I reckon that's really cool. It does get a little silly if autodrive does a demonstration. Now the problem I'm going to have here in the dark is figuring out where the hell texture is. Let's see here. Something like that. No, there it is. Yeah, but you need a there needs to be a paint section for corrugations so that you can put a decent set of corrugations in, enough to spill your coffee off the dashboard or jar the fillings out of your teeth. So we'll just finish this quickly. Right. This is a bit annoying because I really wasn't when I planned the stream, I didn't plan to be doing this bit in the dark. I guess we're almost at the end. Yeah, exactly. But that's what creates the ambience in the map, because it looks real. It doesn't look artificial. You know, not everything's computer generated and square and tidy. You know, nature doesn't have a lot of straight lines. So to me, that's the key that makes it worth playing. I get a bit It just doesn't feel right trying to play on a map where, you know, all the trees have been placed at the same orientation, because the map maker, you know, couldn't have been bothered to play with them a little bit. I get that it's time consuming to build, but its effect on the end product is night and day different. Rightio, come on, how many more laps have I got to do here? 2 probably. Yeah, bumps at the end of a dirt section. One of the things you find in rural Australia quite a lot is the tarmac kind of just stops. And it's usually got to do with who's prepared to fund it, but at that point there's always a puddle or some sort of a bump. As Jason says. Almost got it. Almost. Whoa. I don't. I managed to drive in a straight line. Got a little bit wavy. But don't worry, we're not going to do the last one. We will just... our last field, that is. We'll just finish this bit. And in fact, for the experiment we're trying to run, the fact that I've missed a couple of patches will probably make for some interesting effects. Yeah, there you go. Get to at this end of the field. Head you up there. Another couple across on the short run somewhere. Just about back there. Once you've started building your map, Farm Sim Brisco, can you go back and update the dem slightly without removing all of the field definitions that you've already done, or does updating the dem really put you back at completely at square one? I mean, I'm sure there's a point, even if you can update it, that beyond which you can't proceed, but I'm just curious how early in the process the actual elevations and the map are really locked in. Okay, that's gonna do it. Oh, missed that bit there, never mind. Back to the yard. So let's just park up here. Head to the house. Which is hiding under there somewhere. That's all we needed to look at. Come back at 8 o'clock in the morning. Right. Okay, but until you've actually put down the road splines, you can update the DEM without going completely back to square one. So we're in December and you can see we've got a grass state and it's growing. But it's no different growth stage to the fields I didn't roll. Which is interesting. So that would suggest to me that grass rolling with precision farming is still screwed up. Yep, because this is no different a growth stage to that one. But that said, it does look like I am going to get another cut in February, March before we go putting our sugar beet in. So that's good. Good, 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 good. Now, December means probably no extra contracts. Nope, nothing there. In terms of selling things, we've got eggs that we need to load up and sell for sure. They're at a good price and there's quite a few of them. Silage is just for feeding the cows at this stage. Straw is getting on for its good price, so we might do some of that. But I'm thinking for today, we might leave it here. I will be back in, excuse me, 10.5 hours time, 10.5 hours time, 9.5 hours time. And we will be on Newlands, where there is much happening. We have plenty going on. We've got some sugar beet to harvest there. But for now, I think that's where we will definitely leave it. So thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Really enjoyed having you along tonight. Enjoy the rest of your Monday wherever you are in the world, and have a great week. See you next time. Bye for now.